Welcome along, West London VR on Velo. We're going to take a quick look at the South Lake Loop course. We're going to be using this in some of our Monday Malarkey races, and we're just warming up a little bit here as we go towards that start line. You can see the standard scenery on the island that Velo have created in the South Seas. Heading up towards the start line, the green and white arch. And 2.6 kilometres to go, and there's 5 laps of this, so just around 13 kilometres if we do a standard race of 5 laps. We're just going to do 1 lap now though, and as you can see, the gradient already starting at 1%. The gradients, you do feel them a little bit on Velo, and of course this does depend how you have your settings on the machine. We've changed it since our first test races so that we don't dictate that you get the full effect, so whatever you decide will be the effect you have on these climbs. Now down to -1, so slightly undulating. You can't really see the topography that well in the picture at the bottom, but it's reasonably flat. I mean, slightly undulating, nothing too steep as we go off around to the left. Now then, you don't get any options on this. Is a preset course when you do one of our races, but here we go, 5%. You can see me slowing down there, 26 kph as I get over that, but it's not very far. You can see just the rider ahead just cresting that now. It's down to 2% very, very quickly, and as you go past the junction we're on 0%, and the speed can go straight up as we go downhill again. So you can see this loops the lake, and it's only really where the lakeside bank goes up a little bit that we get that height. We're just a little bit higher than the water at the moment, doing -1%, so we're gradually going to go down to shore level. We've done a kilometre already, so 1.6 to go. We're around the back of the course. As I say, this is a loop around the lake, so it's just 5 times around the lake. You'll always see the lake to your left as we go anti-clockwise. You can see it there again as we head towards another of those arches with 1.4 kilometres to go. Still rolling downhill, nothing too difficult. Remember, the top gradient we've had is 5%, and that was very, very short. But that is a good place to attack in a race, I would suggest. And maybe if you're doing 5 laps, say, I don't think the attacks will necessarily happen on lap 1. I think they'll wait till people are getting a little bit tired, and then somebody will just take that distance themselves, and somebody that falls off the back will lose the draft. 1.1 kilometres to go, so only a kilometre from home already, as we're going to do another left turn. As I say, these are predetermined if you actually do a race. Down near the water level here, at 0 degrees gradient, as you can see, so expect a little bit of a climb coming up. You can see at the bottom there, you can see a little bit of the topography, the grey at the bottom of your screen, and the little arrow is where the rider is. 800 metres to go, and just the 1% now climbing. As I said, expect a little bit of a climb. Again, not steep, it's just we're really circling this lake, so water's pretty level. It's only where the bank goes that's going to change it, and as the closer we are to the water, we're not going to get that high. So back down to 0 degrees gradient. You see the little wisps of air in the sky, giving you a clue which way the wind's blowing. We've got a tailwind at the moment. If you look at the top right hand corner of the box there, there's an arrow pointing upwards in the same direction we're travelling. You can see the little arrow in that box about to go around this 90-degree bend, and so now all of a sudden we've got a side wind because we've turned, and you can see the arrow in the top left hand corner is pointing to your right. Now then, we're coming up towards the finish now, 300 metres, just going around this rider here, and you can see the arch coming into play there. 1% climb here, so there's a little bit of work getting up to it, but it just dips down in the last few metres. So this 1% gradient and the sprint finish could be the difference if you've got tired legs. It's not, as I say, steep or anything, but when you're sprinting at full pelt, the guy with the most legs left in his legs, or her legs, is going to win the sprint. And you see all of a sudden now we get to the finishing line, and it's not too steep, and there's just enough for me to sprint past that rider on the line. You can see by the shadow there was somebody on my tail though. See you at the race.